Today we're out in the backyard again, second part of our French drain installation. Stick with us. Hi and welcome to the Handyverse, where we turn to DIY as a first resort. We show you what we do and share some tips and hopefully inspire you to make some improvements in your own living space. If you've been following along with us, you know that I had rented the trencher last weekend and dug the ditches for the French drain. At least started them. Since then I've put a couple more hours work into it. I had to dig out some more rocks, widen the trench in some places, and you can see here I had to chip out some railway ties that went in underneath the yard. That wasn't a pretty job, so I didn't film that, but I got it down low enough so we'll be able to continue and have the right grade for the drain. One of the problems they had here was they had this retaining wall in, and they did a decent job with it at the time. They even put gravel in behind it, but what they did not allow was anywhere for the water to drain through. So I've dug this out. I'm going to cut this here section out and drain this out onto the pavement for now. Ultimately, we're going to replace this retaining wall, so it's not going to look pretty at this moment, but we'll get it better than it was, which is the goal. I have this here graded already. That's what we're going to be focusing on today. I'll show you how I graded it later. You need a grade of at least 1 inch per 8 feet. We're about 16 feet here, so 2 inches lower at this point. Where I'm going to run into problems is going this way. There's a high point in the middle, and I need to split the drainage coming towards us here, and then going over to the other side. I just need to pick the high point and make sure it's graded properly, and I'll show you how I do that when I get there. First step though is to notch out this retaining wall, and I'm going to try it with my electric chainsaw first, but I have the reciprocating saw on standby if that doesn't work out so well. I'm just going to cut it 3.5 inches wide so I can plug it up again with a pressure treated 2x4. There, Suzanne will never notice that. So that was far more rotten than I thought it was. I knew it was rotten, but I didn't expect it to like fall apart like that. I was kind of joking putting this piece back in there, but honestly I think I'm gonna have to leave it like that. There's actually nothing for me to attach it to because the wood in behind is so rotten. So it's on the list to do this retaining wall. Hopefully that survives till then. I do have a decent notch out of this now, which will allow it to drain out here. It's only a 3.5 inch wide gap, but what I'll do is compress the 4-inch pipe a little bit to fit it in there. If I have to, I might need to cut it out a little wider at the bottom, but we'll deal with that if I have to. Now I'm ready to go. Next step is to put the fabric in and put a layer of stone on top of the fabric, double check the grade, and then start putting the pipe in. If you're wondering what we use for fabric, this is it here. We went for the more expensive contractor grade fabric to hopefully prevent more roots from getting through, weeds, stuff like that. We'll see how it works over time, I guess, but it seems pretty durable and it's doing its job so far. The pipe we have is just 4-inch corrugated pipe. We did get the one with the sock on it, so that'll help keep silt from getting into the pipe. And at this point I got to here, and now we want to install this T. It's actually going to be this way because we want to drain from that direction but also up that way, and it's going to go out here. So I got to play around with that a little bit to cut the fabric to make sure I have access for these pipes, and that's the next step. Now to do my grading, I totally didn't overthink it. I just tied some mason line around a rock. I would measure it at one end. I do have a line level on this, so right there we're at about 4.5 inches. And then using the line level still, I would just flip around to the other side. Make sure the string is level. And then check the measurement on this side. So there you can see I have almost 1/2 inch of grade over about a 3 maximum foot space. So that's more than enough to meet the grade that I require for this drain. I just showed you like this because it's too hard. It's too hard to show you inside the trench, but this is how I checked it when I had the gravel in the trench and made sure I had the right slope so the water would drain appropriately. So given that, I'm going to adjust the grade until about here, which is the high point in the lawn. So I'm going to drain from here, I'm going to drain that way, and then also drain this way over to connect to that side. That's not today though. Today we're going to get to here, close it up, connect it to that T right here, and call it a day. Well, there we go. That's enough for today. I kind of cheated a little bit on the wall here. I intended to replace the wood and put something in here, but I just took one of those concrete chunks and put it across. Nothing I do is going to make this look pretty, so barring any major objections from Suzanne, it's going to stay like that. I have it to drain out here and it'll drip out onto the pavement. Hopefully, that's the plan. So still a lot of work, need a lot of topsoil on here, obviously plant some grass, and then of course we have to get over to the other side and do all of the rest. But that'll be another day. If you found this helpful, hit like. If you're interested in following along with us, hit subscribe and ring the bell so you don't miss any new videos. We'll see you the next time.